Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins today. We're diving into a coin that may look ordinary at first glance but could be worth a shocking $1.5 million. Yes, we're talking about the 1970D Lincoln penny, a seemingly humble coin. But when it comes to rare varieties and minting errors, this penny holds some serious value. Stick around, because we're about to explore the fascinating history, the valuable errors, and what makes the 1970D Lincoln penny one of the most sought-after coins for collectors today. Let's get started. The history of the Lincoln penny. First, let's take a look at the history of the Lincoln penny. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, this coin has been a part of the American currency landscape for over a century. The design of the coin features Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse and, originally, an image of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which debuted in 1959. Over the years, the Lincoln penny has been issued in various compositions, but by 1970, the coin was made of a copper-plated zinc composition. The 1970D penny was minted as the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D Mint mark on the reverse side. Like many other coins from this era, the 1970D penny was meant to be an everyday piece of currency, circulating in large quantities and not necessarily drawing attention for its value. However, certain rare versions of the 1970D Lincoln penny were struck with an error that would make them incredibly valuable. These error coins are what we're focusing on today because they're worth far more than just 1 cent. The 1970D Lincoln penny and its rare minting error. The 1970D Lincoln penny is famous for one very specific reason: it was struck with an incredibly rare and valuable minting error, which, when found, can make the coin worth a staggering amount of money. This error is often referred to as the 1970D small date penny. The small date refers to a specific variety of the 1970D penny that was struck with a smaller, more compact date than the standard 1970 pennies. This subtle difference is what makes the coin unique, and it has turned the 1970D small date penny into a collector's dream. While most 1970D pennies were struck with the large, standard date, the small date variety was a mistake that occurred during the minting process, leading to an error that wasn't supposed to exist. So why is the 1970D small date penny so valuable? Its rarity. The number of 1970D small date pennies that were produced is very low, and this rarity, combined with the fact that collectors know just how rare it is, has caused the value of these pennies to skyrocket. When one of those error coins surfaces at auction, it can fetch hundreds of thousands, if not over $1 million. In fact, some of the highest grade examples of the 1970D small date penny have been sold for as much as $1.5 million. This makes it one of the most valuable pennies in the entire world, despite its seemingly humble origins. Identifying the 1970D small date Lincoln penny. Now, you might be wondering, how can you tell if you have one of these rare and valuable 1970D small date pennies? Don't worry, we've got you covered with a few tips to help you identify this error coin if you come across one in your collection or while searching through your pocket change. Here's what you need to look for. Examine the date. The most prominent feature of the 1970D small date penny is the size of the numbers in the date. The 7, 0, and 1 on the small date version are smaller and more compact than those on the regular 1970D penny. The 0 in particular will appear smaller and closer together compared to the large date variety. Compared to a standard 1970D penny, if you have a regular 1970D penny to compare it to, you'll easily see the difference in the size of the digits. The small date version will look tighter and more condensed, while the regular penny will have a larger, more spread out date. Look for clear definition in the numbers. The small date variety should have very clear, well-defined digits. There may be slightly more wear or fading in the large date versions, so checking the clarity of the numbers can help you differentiate between the two. Check for coin condition. The condition of the coin can play a big role in its value. Even if you find a 1970D small date penny, its value can vary greatly depending on how well preserved it is. Coins in excellent condition with little to no wear will naturally be worth much more than those that have been heavily circulated. How much is your 1970D Lincoln penny worth? As we've mentioned, the value of a 1970D small date penny can be significant. The value depends on the rarity of the coin, its condition, and how well the era is documented. A well-preserved 1970D small date penny in near mint or mint condition can sell for well over $100,000, but the highest quality examples have been known to reach prices as high as $1.5 million. The value is driven by the rarity of the era and the high demand among collectors who are always on the lookout for these rare coins. The 1970D small date penny is one of the most valuable pennies in existence, and its rarity only adds to the excitement for numismatists and coin enthusiasts alike. If you happen to find one, it's definitely worth getting it professionally graded and appraised. How to care for your 1970D Lincoln penny. If you think you've found a 1970D small date penny, it's essential to take proper care of the coin to preserve its value. Here are a few tips on how to keep your coin in great condition. Don't clean the coin. Never clean your rare coin, as doing so can damage the surface and reduce its value. While the coin might look dirty, cleaning it can leave scratches or remove important patina that contributes to its value. Store it properly. Place your coin in a protective holder or capsule. A 2x2 holder or a clear coin capsule will protect the coin from damage and keep it in pristine condition. Handle it carefully. When handling your coin, always wear cotton gloves to prevent oils from your skin from transferring to the coin. Hold the coin by its edges, and avoid touching the surface as much as possible. Store in a safe place. Keep your coin in a cool, dry, and dark location. Avoid exposure to direct sunlight, humidity, or extreme temperature changes, as these can damage your coin over time. Final thoughts on the 1970D Lincoln penny. The 1970D Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how a small error can lead to big rewards. Its rarity, combined with the double-date error, has made it one of the most valuable coins in American numismatic history. While the average 1970D penny is worth just 1 cent, the small date variety can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even $1.5 million, depending on the coin's condition and rarity. If you're a coin collector or just someone who likes to keep an eye on your pocket change, it's worth examining any 1970D pennies you come across. You never know, you could be holding onto a rare treasure worth a fortune. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed learning about the 1970D Lincoln penny and how to identify valuable era coins, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another video. Who knows, your next big find could be just around the corner. Outro. Stay curious, keep collecting, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy coin hunting. Potentially valuable coin. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. If you're someone who loves finding hidden treasures in your change, today's video is going to be a real treat. We're talking about the 1973D Lincoln penny, a coin that may seem like just another penny from the 70s, but in reality, it could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. There are rare 1973D pennies that have sold for millions of dollars. In today's video, we're going to explore the history behind the Lincoln penny, the reason why the 1973D is so valuable, and how you can spot one of these rare, valuable pennies. Let's get started. The history of the Lincoln penny. Before we get into the specifics of the 1973D Lincoln penny, let's first take a look at the history of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln penny was introduced in 1909, marking the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was designed by artist Victor David Brenner and quickly became one of the most iconic coins in U.S. history. Since then, the Lincoln penny has undergone several design changes, but the basic concept has remained the same. For decades, the penny featured the image of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which was introduced in 1959. The obverse side always showcased the portrait of Abraham Lincoln. However, in 2009, the U.S. Mint released a new set of designs to mark the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth, replacing the Lincoln Memorial with a series of 4 designs that represented different phases of Lincoln's life. The 1973 penny, which was minted at the Denver Mint, is part of the era when the Lincoln Memorial was still featured on the reverse. At first glance, the 1973 penny may seem like just another copper-plated zinc coin from the 1970s, but there's something special about certain varieties of this coin that makes them highly sought after by collectors. The 1973 Lincoln penny and its rare era. Now, let's talk about the reason the 1973 Lincoln penny can be worth so much money. While most pennies from this time period are worth just 1 cent, some rare errors can significantly boost their value. The 1973 Lincoln penny is particularly known for an error known as the double die variety. The double die error occurs when a coin is struck more than once, and the second strike is slightly misaligned. This creates a doubling effect on the design, making parts of the coin appear blurry or shifted. The 1973 Lincoln penny with the double die error has been especially coveted by collectors because of the noticeable doubling, particularly in the date and inscriptions. The doubling in the 1973 penny is most often visible in the 1973 date, where you can see a clear shift in the numbers. In addition, the words Liberty and In God We Trust on the obverse, as well as parts of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, may also show signs of doubling. The more dramatic the doubling effect, the higher the coin's value. While these double die errors are not exclusive to the 1973 penny, this particular year and mint mark is where collectors often find some of the most significant examples of the error. Coins with these unique characteristics are rare, and their value has been steadily climbing over the years. Some of these 1973 pennies with a double die error have been sold at auctions for upwards of $1.4 million, making them one of the most valuable pennies in existence. The high price comes from the rarity of the error, the condition of the coin, and the demand among collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for such a unique find. How to identify a valuable 1973 Lincoln penny. So, how can you tell if you've got one of these rare, valuable 1973 pennies in your possession? Identifying a double die error penny isn't too difficult, but it does require a keen eye. Here's what to look for. Look at the date. The most noticeable feature of the double die error is the doubling of the digits in the date. When you examine the 1973 on the penny, you should be able to see a clear shift in the numbers. The digits will appear slightly offset, as if there's a shadow or blur next to each number. The more pronounced the doubling, the more valuable the coin. Check the inscriptions. In addition to the double date, look at the inscriptions on the coin. The words Liberty and In God We Trust should be examined closely. In some cases, you might see a second set of these words faintly visible beside the original ones, a result of the second strike during minting. Examine the Lincoln Memorial. The reverse of the coin also may display slight doubling, especially around the columns or the details of the Lincoln Memorial. If you notice this, it could indicate that your coin is a double die variety. Check the condition. As with any collectible coin, the condition is key to determining its value. A 1973 Lincoln penny in near mint or uncirculated condition will be worth far more than one that's been heavily worn. Look for a coin that has minimal scratches, no visible damage, and crisp, clear details. Use magnification. If you have trouble spotting the doubling with your naked eye, use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to get a closer look at the details. This will help you pinpoint the error and see the full extent of the doubling. How much is your 1973 Lincoln penny worth? Now that you know what to look for, You might be wondering how much your 1973D Lincoln penny is worth. The value depends on a few factors: the severity of the doubling, the condition of the coin, and how much demand there is among collectors at the time. Double die 1973D penny. If you have a 1973D Lincoln penny with a strong double die error, you could be looking at a coin worth thousands of dollars. Some of the most extreme examples of the double die have been sold for over $1.4 million, but don't be discouraged if yours isn't quite as dramatic. Even a coin with more subtle doubling can be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. Coin condition: if your 1973D penny is in excellent condition, with little to no signs of wear, its value will be much higher than a heavily circulated example. Coins that are graded as MS65 or higher, mint state 65, can command premium prices. Coin authentication: if you believe you've found a rare 1973D penny with a double die error, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded and authenticated by a numismatist. Professional grading services can assess the authenticity of the coin and provide an accurate value based on its condition and rarity. The grading process can help ensure you get the best price if you decide to sell your coin. How to care for your 1973D Lincoln penny. If you're lucky enough to have found a rare 1973D Lincoln penny with a double die error, it's important to take proper care of it in order to preserve its value. Here are some tips for storing and handling your valuable coin. Don't clean the coin. Never clean your rare coin. Cleaning can remove the coin's natural patina and damage its surface, which will lower its value. If the coin is dirty, avoid using abrasive materials or harsh chemicals. If you must clean it, simply rinse it gently with distilled water. Store the coin properly. To protect your coin, place it in a protective holder or capsule. A 2x2 holder, a coin flip, or a clear acrylic capsule will help prevent the coin from getting scratched or exposed to the elements. Handle with care. Always wear cotton gloves when handling your rare coins. The oils and dirt on your fingers can damage the surface of the coin. Handle the coin by the edges only, and avoid touching the design. Store in a safe place. Keep your coin in a cool, dry location away from direct sunlight, humidity, and temperature extremes. The ideal storage environment for rare coins is one that is stable and free from extreme fluctuations in temperature or moisture. Final thoughts on the 1973D Lincoln penny. The 1973D Lincoln penny may seem like just another penny from the 70s, but if you're lucky enough to find one with a double die error, you could be holding a coin worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions, of dollars. The rarity of the error, combined with the high demand from collectors, makes this particular penny one of the most valuable in existence. If you've come across a 1973D penny, take a closer look at it, especially at the date, inscriptions, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. With the right error, you could be holding a once-in-a-lifetime find. If you think you've got a rare variety, consider having it professionally graded to determine its true value. Thanks for watching today's video. If you found this information helpful, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can stay updated on more videos about rare and valuable coins. You never know what hidden treasures you might find next. Outro. Good luck with your coin hunting. Take care of your valuable pennies, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy collecting! This script explains the 1973D Lincoln penny, the rare double die error that can make it worth over $1.4 million, and how to identify and care for those coins. It engages coin enthusiasts by providing detailed insights into this valuable coin and offers practical tips for collectors. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. If you've ever wondered about the hidden treasures that could be hiding in your pocket change, today's video is for you. We're talking about the 2014 Lincoln penny, a coin that may seem ordinary at first but has the potential to be worth a shocking $1.1 million. That's right, this seemingly simple penny has an incredible story behind it, and you'll want to stick around to find out why it's so valuable. We'll dive into the history of the 2014 Lincoln penny, the unique features that make it special, and how to spot the rare varieties that can make it worth a small fortune. Let's get started. 1. The history of the Lincoln penny. Before we get into the specifics of the 2014 Lincoln penny, let's take a quick look at the history of this iconic coin. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Over the years, the design has remained mostly the same, with Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. However, in 2009, the U.S. Mint introduced a special design to mark the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, replacing the memorial with a series of 4 reverse designs that focused on different stages of Lincoln's life. In 2010, the U.S. Mint returned to the classic Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse side of the coin. The 2014 Lincoln penny is part of this ongoing series. However, what makes the 2014 penny particularly interesting is that while the design remained relatively unchanged, the coin would eventually become associated with some rare and highly valuable minting errors that would make it worth much more than just 1 cent. The 2014 Lincoln penny. What makes it valuable? Now, let's get into what makes the 2014 Lincoln penny worth so much money. At first glance, it looks like any other penny from this era, made of copper-plated zinc with the familiar Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse. But here's the catch. The value of a coin often comes from its rarity and its condition, and the 2014 penny has some unique varieties and errors that are extremely rare. One of the most valuable varieties of the 2014 Lincoln penny is a specific error in the minting process. The 2014 penny was part of a series of coins that had a small number of production errors due to die problems and other manufacturing issues. While the majority of 2014 pennies were minted without incident, a rare few were struck with a misaligned die or with defects that make them highly sought after by collectors. In particular, there are reports of 2014 Lincoln pennies with a double die error. A double die error occurs when the coin is struck more than once, and the second strike is slightly misaligned from the first. This can cause the image on the coin, especially the date, to appear doubled or blurred. While double die errors are common in older coins, finding one on a 2014 penny is incredibly rare. These era coins are highly desirable among collectors, and some have been sold as auction for significant amounts of money. Some of these 2014 double die error pennies have been known to sell for upwards of $1.1 million, depending on their condition and the extent of the error. Even a coin with a more modest error can still be worth thousands of dollars, making the 2014 penny a valuable find if you happen to come across one in your collection or while searching through pocket change. 3. Identifying the valuable 2014 Lincoln penny. So, how do you know if your 2014 Lincoln penny is worth more than 1 cent? Here's how to spot a valuable double die error or other minting defects on your 2014 penny. Examine the date. The most noticeable feature of the double die error is the doubling of the digits in the date. If you look closely at the 2014 on your penny, you may notice that the numbers appear to be doubled, especially the 2 and 0. The doubling may look like a blurry or shadowed second set of digits next to the original ones. Look for doubling in other areas. In addition to the date, you may also notice some doubling in other parts of the coin, such as the lettering around the edge of the coin, like Liberty or In God We Trust. This is another indicator that you might be looking at a valuable error coin. Inspect the condition of the coin. The value of a 2014 Lincoln penny with a minting error will depend on its condition. Coins that are in excellent condition with minimal wear will be worth significantly more than those that are heavily worn or damaged. A well-preserved double die error penny in near mint condition can command prices of hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even more. Check for other errors. In addition to the double die error, there have been other issues reported with 2014 pennies, such as off-center strikes or coins that were struck with foreign debris on the die. These errors can also make a penny more valuable, though the double die error tends to be the most coveted among collectors. How much is your 2014 Lincoln penny worth? Now that you know what to look for, you might be wondering just how much your 2014 Lincoln penny could be worth. The value of the coin depends on several factors, including the rarity of the error, the condition of the coin, and how well the error is documented. If you've found a 2014 Lincoln penny with a noticeable double die error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Some of the most valuable 2014 pennies with this error have sold for over $1.1 million at auctions, especially if they are in near mint condition and the error is well defined. Even a penny with the more modest error can be worth thousands of dollars, especially if it is in good condition and has been properly authenticated. The best way to determine the exact value of your coin is to have it professionally graded and appraised by a numismatist or a coin dealer. These experts can evaluate the coin's condition and confirm whether or not it has an error, as well as give you an estimate of its current market value. How to care for your 2014 Lincoln penny. If you've found a rare 2014 Lincoln penny, it's important to take good care of it in order to preserve its value. Here are some tips on how to properly handle and store your coin. Don't clean the coin. Never clean your rare coin. Cleaning can scratch the surface or remove important features, which will reduce the value. If your coin is dirty, gently rinse it with distilled water, but avoid using any abrasive materials or chemicals. Store the coin properly. To protect your coin, place it in a protective holder or capsule. A 2x2 holder, coin flip, or clear capsule will protect it from dirt, moisture, and physical damage. Keeping the coin in a protective case will help preserve its condition and keep it in top shape for potential future sales. Handle the coin carefully. Always wear cotton gloves when handling your rare coins. Oils and dirt from your fingers can damage the surface of the coin, so avoid touching it directly. If you must handle the coin, use the edges only. Store in a safe place. Keep your coin in a cool, dry location, away from direct sunlight and humidity. Avoid exposing your coin to extreme temperatures or conditions that could cause it to degrade. Final thoughts on the 2014 Lincoln penny. The 2014 Lincoln penny may seem like just another regular coin, but if you happen to find a rare double die error or other minting defects, you could be holding a valuable treasure worth up to $1.1 million. Its rarity and the demand from collectors have turned this penny into one of the most sought-after coins of its time. If you come across a 2014 penny, it's worth taking the time to inspect it closely. You never know, you might have a rarer coin in your collection. As always, make sure to handle your coins with care, and if you think you found something special, get it appraised by a professional to learn its true value. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed learning about the 2014 Lincoln penny and want to stay updated on more valuable coins, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. You don't want to miss out on future videos where we'll be uncovering even more coin secrets. Outro. Keep hunting for those hidden treasures. Take care of your coins, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy collecting! This script explains the 2014 Lincoln penny in detail, including its historical context, the rare minting errors that make it valuable, and how to identify and care for those coins. It's designed to engage coin collectors and educate them on the value of these rare finds. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins today. We're diving into a coin that might seem like just another ordinary penny at first glance, but there's much more to it than meets the eye. We're talking about the 1978 Lincoln penny. It might not be a year you immediately associate with rare and valuable coins, but this particular penny has some serious worth. In fact, a 1978 Lincoln penny has been known to sell for an astounding $1.3 million. Stick around, because we're going to explore the history behind this coin, why it's so valuable, and how you can identify a potentially life-changing find. Let's jump right in. The history of the Lincoln penny. Before we dive into the rare and valuable aspects of the 1978 Lincoln penny, let's take a quick step back and look at the history of the Lincoln penny itself. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909, commemorating the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was designed by Victor David Brenner and quickly became a cornerstone of U.S. currency. The coin has undergone some design changes over the years, but it has remained a staple of American currency. For most of its history, the Lincoln penny featured the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which was introduced in 1959. However, in 2009, To mark the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth, the U.S. Mint released a series of 4 new reverse designs that focused on different moments in Lincoln's life. But today, we're focused on the 1978 penny, which is part of the series that continued the Lincoln Memorial design. The 1978 Lincoln penny is made of a copper-plated zinc composition, as was typical for pennies minted during this era. It features Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, and the reverse displays the Lincoln Memorial. But what makes this seemingly ordinary coin so valuable? Well, it all comes down to a rare error that occurred during its minting, which we'll explore in the next section. The 1978 Lincoln penny and its rare error. The 1978 Lincoln penny, much like most coins, was produced in large quantities and distributed widely across the United States. However, as with many coins, some of these pennies were struck with errors that would make them stand out from the rest. While many of these errors are relatively minor, there's one specific variety of the 1978 penny that has gained attention and, most importantly, immense value among collectors. The 1978 Lincoln penny is known for having a rare minting error that occurred due to a misaligned die during the striking process. The misalignment caused the coin's design to be slightly off-center, creating a distorted and unusual appearance. This error, known as the off-center strike, makes these pennies extremely valuable, especially in high grades. In some cases, the off-center strike can be so dramatic that it creates a coin with a portion of the design completely missing, while other coins feature only a slight misalignment of the design. The more severe the misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes. These rare coins are highly sought after by collectors because they are so unique and hard to find. The 1978 off-center pennies are particularly prized because they were minted in such high quantities, making it all the more difficult to find those errors. In some of the most extreme cases, a 1978 Lincoln penny with a dramatic off-center strike has been sold for over $1.3 million. This astronomical price is not for just any 1978 penny, but for the rare examples with the most noticeable and well-preserved errors. How to identify a valuable 1978 Lincoln penny. So, how can you identify if you have one of these rare 1978 Lincoln pennies that could be worth thousands or even millions? Let's walk through some key features that will help you spot a potential gem. Look for an off-center strike. The most notable feature of the 1978 penny that could make it worth a lot of money is the off-center strike. If you closely examine the design, you'll see that part of the coin's features may be missing, or the image will appear misaligned. This happens when the die used to strike the coin doesn't line up properly with the blank plan kit, creating an error that's visible to the naked eye. Examine the missing details. In some cases, the off-center error is severe enough that part of the design is entirely missing from the coin. For example, a large chunk of the Lincoln Memorial could be absent from the reverse side, or part of Lincoln's portrait could be incomplete on the obverse side. The more severe and noticeable the missing details, the higher the coin's value. Condition is key. As with any collectible coin, the condition plays a huge role in determining its value. A well-preserved coin with minimal wear and tear is much more valuable than one that has been heavily circulated or damaged. If your 1978 penny has an off-center strike and is in excellent condition, it could be worth significantly more than a regular penny. Coins that are graded as mint state or proof are the most valuable. Check for other minting errors. In addition to the off-center strikes, there are other potential errors that could make a 1978 Lincoln penny valuable. For example, some 1978 pennies may have a double die error, where the design is doubled in certain areas, such as the date or inscriptions. While less common than the off-center error, double die pennies can still fetch impressive prices if they are in good condition. How much is your 1978 Lincoln penny worth? The value of your 1978 Lincoln penny will depend on the severity of the minting error, the condition of the coin, and how rare the specific variety is. If you find a 1978 penny with an off-center strike, it's worth taking a close look to determine just how dramatic the error is. While most off-center pennies are worth a few dollars, the rare examples with significant errors can be worth much much more. The most valuable 1978 Lincoln pennies are those with extreme off-center strikes or other noticeable errors. These rare coins have sold for as much as $1.3 million in the past, and they continue to be highly coveted by collectors. Even if your coin doesn't have an extreme error, it may still be worth hundreds or thousands of dollars, depending on its condition and rarity. If you think you might have a rare 1978 penny with a significant error, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded by a numismatist. This will help determine the exact value of your coin and provide you with an accurate assessment of its market potential. How to care for your 1978 Lincoln penny. If you've found a rare 1978 Lincoln penny, it's crucial to take good care of it to preserve its value. Here are a few tips to help you keep your coin in top condition. Don't clean the coin. Cleaning your coin can damage its surface and decrease its value. It's best to leave the coin as is, even if it looks a bit dirty. If you absolutely need to clean it, rinse it gently with distilled water, but don't use any harsh chemicals or scrub the surface. Store the coin properly. To protect your coin, place it in a protective holder or capsule. A 2x2 holder or a clear coin capsule will prevent it from being scratched or exposed to the elements. Handle with care. When handling rare coins, always wear cotton gloves to avoid transferring oils from your fingers to the surface of the coin. Hold the coin by its edges, and avoid touching the design. Keep it in a safe place. Store your coin in a cool, dry, and dark location. Avoid exposing it to direct sunlight, humidity, or extreme temperatures, as these conditions can damage the coin over time. Final thoughts on the 1978 Lincoln penny. The 1978 Lincoln penny may seem like just another penny at first glance, but if you're lucky enough to find one with the rare minting error, you could be sitting on a fortune. The most valuable 1978 pennies are those with off-center strikes or other unique errors, and some of these coins have been known to sell for up to $1.3 million at auction. As with any valuable collectible, it's important to carefully inspect your coins for potential errors, preserve them in excellent condition, and seek professional grading if you think you found something special. Thanks for watching today's video. If you enjoyed learning about the 1978 Lincoln penny and want to stay updated on other valuable coins, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our future content. You never know, you might just find your next big treasure in your pocket change. Outro. Keep searching for those rare finds, take care of your coins, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy collecting! This script walks through the history and value of the 1978 Lincoln penny, focusing on the rare errors that make it worth up to $1.3 million. It explains how to identify valuable pennies and offers tips on caring for rare coins. The script is designed to engage coin enthusiasts and educate viewers on how they can spot a potential treasure. Hey there, coin collectors and history enthusiasts, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to dive into a fascinating coin that's caught the attention of collectors everywhere, the 2008 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might seem like just another modern penny, but trust me, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. Some 2008 Lincoln pennies are worth a staggering $1.1 million. Yes, you heard that correctly, at $1.1 million. In today's video, we're going to take a close look at the history behind the 2008 Lincoln penny, what makes some of them so valuable, and how you can spot one of these rare coins in your own collection. So, let's get started. 1. The history of the Lincoln penny. Before we jump into the specific details of the 2008 penny, let's take a quick look at the Lincoln penny's history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The coin was designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, and its design quickly became iconic in American currency. For nearly a century, the Lincoln penny featured the same basic design, Lincoln's portrait on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. However, in 2009, to commemorate the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth, the U.S. Mint introduced a new series of reverse designs, each representing a different phase of Lincoln's life. The 2008 Lincoln penny, however, still featured the classic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, just like most pennies minted since 1959. But here's where things get interesting. The 2008 penny is notable for a few unique reasons, especially due to the launch of the new series of reverse designs starting in 2009. But the coin we're discussing today didn't undergo any major design changes, so what makes the 2008 penny so significant is the occurrence of a rare minting era that could make it worth a fortune. Let's dive deeper into that. 2. The rare 2008 Lincoln penny era. So why is the 2008 Lincoln penny worth so much money? The answer lies in a rare era coin that was produced during that year, the 2008 double die penny. A double die error occurs when a coin is struck more than once by the same die, with the second strike being slightly misaligned. This misalignment causes the design to appear doubled or offset, which is clearly visible on the coin. In the case of the 2008 penny, the double die error most commonly affects the date and the inscriptions on the coin. The numbers in the year 2008 might appear to have a shadowed or blurry effect, with parts of the digits being duplicated or overlapping. In addition, the words Liberty and In God We Trust can also show signs of doubling, making the coin even more noticeable to collectors. What makes the 2008 double die penny so valuable is its rarity. While double die errors are not uncommon, finding one from a more recent year, like 2008, is quite rare. Most of the double die coins that collectors covet come from earlier years like 1955 or 1972, so finding a double die penny from a more recent year makes the 2008 variety especially exciting. Some of the most significant 2008 double die pennies have been sold as auction for impressive amounts, even reaching as much as $1.1 million. These high-valued coins are typically in exceptional condition, with clear and dramatic doubling that's easy to spot. The combination of rarity, the dramatic error, and the strong demand from collectors make these coins highly sought after. 3. How to identify a valuable 2008 Lincoln penny. So, how can you tell if your 2008 Lincoln penny is one of these rare, high-value double die varieties? Here's a step-by-step guide to help you identify a valuable coin. Examine the date. The first place to look is the date on your coin. If the year 2008 is doubled, you'll notice that the digits appear offset, with a shadow or ghosted effect next to them. The most dramatic examples show a clear doubling of the number 8, but you might also see some doubling in the other digits, particularly the 0 and 2. Check the inscriptions. In addition to the date, examine the words Liberty and In God We Trust on the obverse, front, of the coin. In some cases, these inscriptions will show doubling as well. The letters will appear faintly beside the original ones, giving the words a blurry or ghostly look. This doubling is what makes the coin especially valuable. Look for doubling on the reverse. While the obverse is where most of the doubling will be found, don't forget to check the reverse side of the coin too. In rare cases, parts of the Lincoln Memorial may also show signs of doubling. Look closely at the columns or other intricate details to see if any of them appear doubled or offset. Use magnification. If you have trouble spotting the doubling with the naked eye, use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to get a closer look at the coin's details. Magnification can help you identify even the most subtle signs of doubling, which is critical when determining whether your coin is a valuable error. Coin condition. As with any collectible, the condition of the coin plays a major role in determining its value. A 2008 Lincoln penny with clear doubling that's in excellent or uncirculated condition will be worth far more than a heavily worn coin. Look for coins that have sharp, crisp details and little to no signs of wear. Coins that are graded as MS65 or higher, mint state 65, are the most valuable. 4. How much is your 2008 Lincoln penny worth? So now that you know what to look for, you might be wondering just how much your 2008 Lincoln penny could be worth. The value of these coins depends on a few factors. Minor doubling. If your 2008 penny has only minor doubling or subtle signs of the error, the coin's value will likely range from a few dollars to hundreds of dollars, depending on the condition and demand in the market. Strong doubling. If the doubling is clear and easy to see, your coin could be worth significantly more. Strong examples of the double die error in excellent condition can be worth thousands of dollars, particularly if the doubling is visible on both the date and the inscriptions. Extreme doubling. High-value coins. The most dramatic 2008 double-die pennies, with extreme doubling that's easily visible to the naked eye, have sold for amounts as high as $1.1 million at auctions. These coins are extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors, and they represent the pinnacle of value for this particular era. 5. How to care for your 2008 Lincoln penny. If you're lucky enough to find a valuable 2008 Lincoln penny, it's important to take good care of it to preserve its value. Here are some tips for handling and storing your rare coin. Don't clean the coin. Never clean your rare coin. Cleaning can scratch the surface and remove the coin's natural patina, which will lower its value. If the coin is dirty, avoid using any abrasive materials. Simply rinse it gently with distilled water if necessary. Store in a protective holder. To protect your coin from damage, place it in a protective holder such as a 2x2 holder, a coin flip, or a clear acrylic capsule. This will prevent the coin from getting scratched, exposed to moisture, or damaged in any way. Handle with care. Always wear cotton gloves when handling valuable coins. This will prevent oils, dirt, and moisture from your fingers from transferring onto the coin surface. Handle the coin by its edges and avoid touching the face or reverse of the coin. Store in a safe, controlled environment. Keep your rare coin in a cool, dry, and dark place, away from extreme temperatures and humidity. A climate-controlled environment is ideal for storing valuable coins, as fluctuations in temperature and moisture can damage them over time. 6. Final thoughts on the 2008 Lincoln penny. The 2008 Lincoln penny might seem like just another modern coin, but in reality, it could be worth a small fortune if you have one with the double-die era. The rarity of the era, combined with its dramatic doubling and high demand from collectors, makes it a truly valuable find. While not every 2008 penny is worth millions, a well-preserved example with strong, visible doubling could make you a lot of money. If you think you found a valuable 2008 Lincoln penny, be sure to carefully examine it for the telltale signs of doubling. And if you're unsure, consider having it professionally graded and authenticated. A professional assessment can help you determine whether you've found a rare and valuable coin. Thanks for watching today's video. If you found this information helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on rare and valuable coins. Keep searching, and who knows, you might just find a penny worth $1 million. Outro. Take care of your coins. Keep hunting for those rare treasures, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy collecting! This script gives a comprehensive overview of the 2008 Lincoln penny, its history, and the rare double-die era that can make it worth $1.1 million. It explains the error, how to identify it, and how to care for your valuable coin, engaging viewers with practical tips and excitement about coin hunting.